Let me take you back to last summer when I last visited Pakistan, and I vividly remember watching a documentary about Imran Khan, and it explained his journey, the setbacks he'd faced, the determination he possessed, the passion he had, and the respect he had gained. And throughout it, chills raced down my back, similar to the feeling you probably must have felt when you're watching Avengers Endgame. And remember the final scene when all the heroes came into battle? Well, that was a feeling that I felt while watching this documentary. Now, I could talk to you guys about Imran Khan's endless mission for hours. However, I will give you just a short summary so that you can just sort of grasp his greatness. He was born in Pakistan to a middle to high class family, and his first major achievement was that he got a political science degree at the Oxford University. He then played for the Pakistan cricket team, later captaining us to our first, and after watching the devastation which was the India-Pakistan game, seems like only World Cup victory for at least 4 more years. And now, he's our Prime Minister. Ironically, the next day, it was 12 August, it was 14 August, it was Independence Day. Now, yes, we as a family do celebrate it every year, however, in a quite simple manner. Yes, we would dress up, yes, we would take a couple of photos and post on Facebook, but you gotta understand, we are Pakistanis, we do that for pretty much anything. Despite that, last year was different. My entire family, my cousins from Dallas, my aunt from London, me and my family from Dubai, we all came to Pakistan for this day. We all wore matching green clothes, and when we got into the streets, the buzz around the city was something I had never witnessed my entire life. You did not have to speak a word to anyone to comprehend the euphoria that spread around the country. On the road itself, there were banners on the side of the road reading Naya Pakistan, New Pakistan, and Tabdili aaye rahe, change has come. When we got into the restaurant, there were patriotic songs being played in the background while everyone was singing along with it. And this excitement continued throughout the entire day. When we got home, we all went into the garden, and we got one of our helpers to take a video of us singing the national anthem. And then we continued taking photos of us celebrating this newfound excitement. So that day really made me think. It made me think, what was different? What was the difference? What was different from last summer to the previous 10 or so years? I'd gone to the same city with the same people for the same celebration. And what I realized was because merely 2 days previously, Imran Khan had just won the election. The result of one man, not even finishing his mission, created all of this hope. So once again, it made me think, how can an individual have such a large effect on an even larger country? And I realized it was his greatness, his innovativeness. Now, why do I compare greatness to innovativeness? And it's due to the simple notion, the simple belief that if you do want to be known as a legend of your field, you need to make a difference. You need to introduce something new. You need to make a change. You need to be innovative. I'll use a simple example of Einstein. If he had simply memorized all the knowledge gathered by previous physicists, he would not be viewed as how we view him today. But it's due to his new inventions, his discoveries, his innovative ideas, which allow us to view him as the best physicist of all time. And the same thing can be said with Pythagoras with his theorems, or with LeBron James and how he shifted power from owners to players. Thus, in order to be viewed in the upper echelon of a field, you need to be innovative. Hence, greatness is proportional to innovation. Now back to Imran Khan. His urge to change the corrupt status quo in Pakistan, his urge to innovate, to make changes in something established. He is an innovator. And what I witnessed on that day was a microcosm of the ripple effects of greatness. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what I'm going to talk to you guys today about, the ripple effects of greatness. Now, in fact, after that day, I watched even more documentaries. I read a lot more books, and I pondered a lot more. And what I was able to discern were the phases, or the stages, you could say, that follow innovation, that follow an innovative idea. And they come in 3. Ignorance, acceptance, dreaming, and repeat. Now, the first phase, ignorance, is split up into 2 parts. The first subsection is that very few accept this brand new innovative idea. The PTI, which was the political party formed by Imran Khan, was formed in 1996. Now remember that date, 1996. In his first election, he won 0.08% of majority vote. He finally became prime minister and won majority in 2018. That's 22 years later. Yet his ideologies, his principles did not waver throughout those 2 decades. He fought against corruption. He stood up for religious freedom. He promoted the method of dialogue to tackle terrorism. 2 decades ago and still today. Now, living in the UAE, we have a very relatable example, and that is of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed. And what this recent tweet depicts is the doubt that many people casted upon His Highness's vision of what the UAE could become. And this leads naturally to the second part of the first phase, which is rejection, criticism, hate, rejection. Another thing this tweet clearly shows is the criticism that he faced, not only by foreigners, but there were locals too, who criticized his vision for being overambitious, for impractical. And not everyone believed that his vision of what the UAE could become could actually occur. Now, in Imran Khan's case, he was heavily criticized throughout his entire life, even hated to some extent. In his political career, he was called a terrorist sympathizer for promoting dialogue. His competitors would not take him seriously, supporting the notion that an ex-cricketer, an ex-sportsman, had no place in politics, despite him being very well qualified. However, eventually, innovative ideas led by great leaders will gain acceptance. And that's the second phase, acceptance. This acceptance first occurs in the form of respect. Respect meaning that society, the public, might not necessarily agree with the stand. However, they have the decency, the respect to listen, to hear them out, to see where they're coming from. See, a couple of months ago, I watched a TED talk on Daryl Davis, who was a black man who was actually able to get a KKK leader, a white supremacist leader, to renounce the organization. And if you watch the talk yourself, you will notice that throughout his talk, he constantly emphasizes, constantly reiterates the fact that if it was not for the respect that he had gained from the ex-white supremacist leader, he would not have been able to convince him of believing in the idea of racial equality. Now, if ideas are truly innovative and truly are beneficial for society, this respect turns into admiration. I'll use the same example of Daryl Davis. Eventually, Mr. Kelly, who was the name of the white supremacist leader, actually embraced Daryl Davis. They invited each other to each other's houses, they met each other's families, they attended each other's gatherings. Eventually, Mr. Kelly embraced the idea of racial equality, hence shown why he renounced the organization. Now, in Pakistan, today I feel Imran Khan's ideologies are now embraced, shown by the exclamation of his party slogans, New Pakistan and Change Has Come. And this leads to the third phase, the dreaming phase. And this is the phase in which the innovative idea of person has the spillover effects, you could say, on the rest of society, on the public. Innovative ideas leave society in an optimistic state of mind, hopeful. A sense of comfort that the next day, the next month, the next year will be better off due to the creative thoughts of yesterday. Now, in Pakistan, the reason seemed to me like every Pakistani had gone out to celebrate Independence Day was not because we as Pakistanis believe that our problem was solved. It's not because we believe suddenly corruption had been removed, or that we suddenly became the safest country in the world, or anything else. However, it was the newfound hope for the future of our country instilled in us by the greatness of Imran Khan. Now, after watching the TED talk of Daryl Davis, I, a person of color, have hope, have a bit more confidence that if I do go to the West, I can be treated like I am in my own country. Now, you ask Pakistanis who their role model is. For some, who's their hero? For some, who inspires them? Plenty will say Imran Khan. I'm sure that the majority of his cancer hospital patients will say him. I'm sure the majority of people who agrees with peace to dialogue would say him too. And I'm sure that the majority of the people celebrating independence Day like me and my family would say Imran Khan too. And that's because innovation inspires people. It inspires us to unearth our creative minds. And this same thing can be said with all innovators you can think of, for Gandhi, for Mandela, for Newton. Now, personally, when I feel a bit low, after, for example, after the India-Pakistan game, or some of you might have felt after watching the Game of Thrones finale, I would go on YouTube and I would type Laro Mujhe, tribute to Imran Khan. Now, for me, Imran Khan motivates me. He has helped me found a why I need to wake up. Now, everyone has their own Imran Khan, whether it's Newton or Einstein or LeBron James or Messi or even Sheikh Mohammed. Everyone has someone who motivates them. And that's because, once again, innovators help individuals and groups of people find motivation. And this motivation leads to hard work, focus, creative thinking, and world-changing ideas. And these world-changing ideas causes this entire cycle, you could say, to continue, hence the repeat. Ignorance, acceptance, dreaming, and repeat. Now, if there's one thing which you and I can take out of revolutions like the ones I mentioned in my talk today, is that if we do aim to change the world for the better, if we do aim to innovate, firstly, we must expect to be ignored, to be hated, to be criticized and rejected. However, we must have the patience, because sooner or later, we will be respected. And if our idea truly is innovative and truly is beneficial for society, we will be admired and embraced and accepted. And if our thoughts are able to change the world for the better, we, as a generation of innovation, must accept the role we have as a beacon of hope for students like me, generations into the future. We must be responsible to inspire them, to motivate them, to allow them to dream. And if we are truly able to change the world, we must accept the responsibility we have. We must understand that our effects will last to the last breath, to the last day. And ladies and gentlemen, those are the ripple effects of greatness. Thank you.